Gong Fat Show. Welcome and to the Confessions of a Yarnie. My name is Coda. I'm a jackaroo crafter. That means I do anything to do with textiles. You know, if it's knitting, crochet, weaving, spinning, dyeing. You know, if it's got some sort of fibre in it and I can play in it, I'm there. As you can tell from my accent, I'm an Antipodean. Be good, I know. Actually, I'm an Australian from the top end of the Northern Territory. So I'm an expat currently living near Liverpool in Lancashire in the northwest region of England. For many years I have used knitting and crochet and fibre craft as a way to help me find my zen. Like you use knitting, you knit in your sorrows and in your joy, and that's what it's been for me for many years. Why do a podcast now? I've been trying to do this now for a month and it's not been easy. Now it's the start of the Chinese New Year, and it's all part of my goal of being more and more involved in the knitting community, in the fibre community. I used to be super involved on Ravelry, and when I became ill, I found I didn't have anything I could talk about. My routine was the same. It was, I've become an invalid. I've stopped working. I've just lost myself and lost my ability to communicate, to participate, So the blog, so this podcast is part of me trying to get back into just back in and involved. I used to belong to a knit group that was associated with a shop. When that shop closed, the knit group closed, and we all sort of faded away. There was nothing to pull us together anymore. There was no easy location, and then we just all sort of faded away. I have a local knit shop, but I'm not their type of customer, and even though I try and support them, I'm not their customer. They have about a shelf of sock yarn, but when you've already had one lot of sock yarn, you'd like a bit of variety. I've just started going to another knit group. It's about an hour's drive away for me, but it's more my sort of scene. There is variety. There's people who are happy, active, and it's a very bright and empowering environment. It's with Countess of Blazer's studio. She's an indie dyer in Manchester, in Swinton. So it's about an hour's drive, 45 minutes to an hour's drive, Liverpool to Manchester traffic, about an hour's drive there and an hour's drive back, but it's worth it for me. I don't see the hour's drive as a major haul because, I'm a Territorian. Distance is relative. I used to do 1,000 miles in a day. So it's not that. It's the fact that I have a chronic illness and I have to battle the weather, the ups and downs of how I'm feeling, the medication, what medication I've taken that day, can I drive that day? I've got to take those considerations into, when I come to the decision of, am I going to make it? Have I got enough bloody spoons? Yes, I'm Australian and I can swear like a truck driver. And I am trying not to swear, but there are times when the frustration levels, because of my condition, and I do have specific learning difficulty, I'm dyslexic, dyspraxic, Da, 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 da. Stick it all together and you've got me, mate. If I was a lemon, you would have parted with me a long time, or as my father said, if it was a dog, I would have shot you. Yeah, no pulling of the punches in our family. I'm on beeper number 27. The camera went for a fly, so I've just had to rearrange it. So why do a podcast now? Start of the new year to be more involved. I'm trying this medium to see if I can push myself. I have had a blog for a long time, and basically at the moment it's don't look at the shoes of the children of the shoemaker in our household, or like don't look at the car, the mechanic's wife's car, or in my case the computer science car, computer science's car, computer science's home computers. I have the technical skills to fix it. It's just that I just haven't managed to get my husband and my ISP provider company to communicate together to enable me to have the administration passwords and get a full reset. It's been 5 months. So it's now or never. Bite the... Oops. Yeah, I have been very, very frustrated by this. So I'm doing it. And, bugger the rest of them. So knitting wise, for 2006 I had some very, knitting fibre textiles. And yes, I'm a hand talker. That's one of the reasons why I knit. So I can something to do with my hands, because I'm just a little bit hyperactive, distractible, shiny. I'm gone. So yeah, what my 2006 goals? Yarn Club with your soul fatigue. Well, that is to sort of say, have something coming in that I would enjoy, but to challenge me, to have a taste of different things, to have that. I'm doing it with another friend of mine who's also in similar sort of situations. She's an expat, she's isolated, she's recently a widow. Just to something that we would have to connect, and I'm hopefully going to get over it to see her, and we on a more regular basis, because I've started to drive again, and it's all about getting out of this. This is my daybed. I'm currently in my daybed, so I live here 24/7, 365 days a year. If I actually get upstairs to my normal bed, I'm having a good day. If I don't, I don't. Them's the breaks. My husband's just as bad. He sleeps on the floor all the time, so yeah, we'll leave that one alone. But part of the 2016 goals was that I would be a more selfish knitter, as part of focusing more on me, doing things to make me happy, to make me feel good. Because if you're happier, if you have a chronic illness, you can manage your illness better. And that was one of, you can, if you engage, if you one of the biggest problems, you've got to stop being isolated, so since I left work, I haven't bought any clothes. I haven't, I don't need to buy any clothes, because I've got all these clothes, and I haven't been clothes shopping, but also my needs clothing wise has changed. I've got hypersensitive skin, so that means that I have arthritis, I have difficulties putting on clothes. What I wear, how I feel in the clothes have to be able to be lounged in and keep going. So, easy to, I no longer control the washing machine, so easy to wash, easy to dry, and mate, for God's sake, don't let my husband near it if it's wool, because this is the most recent accident. And this used to make me happy because, it's nice and bright and everything. Yeah, he felted it. I wore it to the pictures. I have a thing called, part of my problem is I have a thing called vegetable migraines, where the balance in me ears go out, and it's like having seasickness. I'm going to be lying, sitting, no matter what I'm doing, I'm seasick. I have motion sickness because that part of my brain doesn't settle too well. And I hadn't thought about it. And we went and saw Star Wars. I was violently motion sick. I thought, I haven't had a really serious bout in a long time, in a couple of weeks. I thought we had got it under control. Nah. It was, in the bit where you see the Millennium Falcon and I do the chase. It was in that bit that I just had a violent reaction to. And I was most disappointed. It was like no warning. Bang. So sorry about that if I put you off your dinner, but sorry. I've got no, I had a baby 25 years ago in a teaching hospital with a male midwife. 22 years ago. Putting years on her. So part of my things is to have a capsulated wardrobe, because I like bright colours, and I like to knit in bright colours. I like to weave in bright colours, but I don't. I have troubles with the fibro fog, thinking about what to put on and I like things that are easy to wash, easy to care for. I don't wear black. This is not technically this. There is some black flecks in this, but this is not black. So instead of wearing all black, my colours, my new wardrobe is going to be navy, white, greys, and other neutrals, with the occasional bright jewel colour in a shirt or a tunic or a dress, because I can't quite do it all. I just can't do the full, the all black every day, all the time. I like a bit of variety, but I want it mix and match. I've always had sort of like a work uniform and a home uniform. Tie-dye t-shirts, that was me. I tie-dyed the kids' snappies when they were little. None of these boring white fleece terry-toweling nappies for my lot. No, electric blue, hot pink. Yeah. Nappies and singlets, Babies dribble on white singlets. It gets stained. Bugger it. Tie-dye it. Solves the problem. You don't have a problem anymore. So part of being a more selfish issue is I wanted to fill my sock drawer as it went. For the last 12 months, I haven't knitted socks. That is because in 2014, I knit socks, and more socks. And I sort of burnt myself out. But to get myself back in, I'm doing a few challenges in my goals. I want to work on my skills, to do more online classes, to get more active in the guild. I'm a member of the Guild of Online Spinners, Weavers and Dyers, but I have been very lurky, but not active. And part of getting more active, and that is to my daily practice, because I believe in developing my skills. My daily practice this year is working on my spinning. I want to spin more and I realise that I haven't been spinning as much as I should have, and I'm working towards that. If I'm looking to the side, it's because I've got a PowerPoint here and it's got my show notes so that I know what's going in big enough text that this blind bat can see it. So the events this year I want to participate in is Ravel Olympics, Tour de Fleece, I want to crochet in Afghan, and I'm doing a jar of happy thoughts. Yes, the jar of happy thoughts is very much about writing a positive message every day so that when you're having a really off day, a really bad day, when the spoons have gone and you are in pain, you've got something to try and lift the positive, lift you up a bit, so that the more positive you are, the more easy it is to deal with the situation you're in. So my Aura program is probably pretty damn standard. What's on my radar? Hot off the needles, finished objects, ongoing works in progress. What's my next thing to cast on? What walk? Where am I going on my walkabout? I don't really have a stash. I have a 40-gallon tub that I have been working to fill with things that I enjoy, not which I'll come into in a minute. When I do mail call, basically I'm going to call it what's in my tucker bag, because that's basically my mail call acquisitions and associated items. And then at the end I'll probably have an adder, so that people who are interested in the fibre stuff can go, yeah, that's it, see you later. So what's on my radar? Well, podcasts have been brilliant for me. But what has been on my radar, there has been how there's the Great British Bake Off and that. The Danish have done, I think they're currently looking for contestants for their third series, but the Great Knit Off, and you can find it on YouTube. There's two English subtitles, but I'm desperate to find out who won series 1, because I've got to see up to episode 9, but 10, 11 and 12 are not available on YouTube, and I can't seem to find anywhere that will let me have a look, because I really want to know who won. But there's a lot of things in these programs that, if you're looking for inspiration and if you're looking to challenge yourself and your skills, it's well worth having a look at, even if you can't speak Danish. Because the skill of these knitters is... and, just pushing yourself to be more creative, to be more... to go outside of your boundaries. Now, I loved, the finalists in Series 2. All 3 of them, I thought, were things. But it was brilliantly obvious that Carolyn, the lady who won, she had been consistently marvellous all the way through, and, yeah, well worth watching. One of the ones that has really pushed me to pull my finger out and actually to do this has been Shannon on Sock Etc. and Kemper from Junkyard. So, this week I've had a bit of a binge on catching up with Kemper, revisiting Kemper's older episodes. What happened? I've got insomnia, I can't sleep. I've got to have something to keep me company. Like all households where there is a male, he has, and what is it about male? Even my almost 20-year-old son, What is it about them that they need to control the remote control? Recently he brought a new remote control, but it didn't quite do what he wanted it to do, so I've inherited it. So when he's stuck on a channel and he's gone to sleep, I now can change the channel. Doesn't mean I'm going to find something I want to watch, because at 4 o'clock in the morning it tends to be, I just cannot, when you see the same program 4 times in one day, that the TV is normally on as noise. I need white noise because I have constant ringing in my ears. That and keeps the dog company too, because I'm an old fart and I go to sleep on him all the time. I have what we call nana naps, where I can go to sleep talking to you. Yeah, no, I know. So the dog's blind. He's not my dog, but he does a very good job looking after me. He's my son's dog, and he was never going to be my dog. I have a habit of stealing other people's dogs just because I'm over affectionate to them and I really love them, and I go visiting to see other people's dogs. Yeah. So when this dog came into our household, it was from day one. It was not my dog. It was his. You know, I would help him do the training if he needed training, but not my dog. Now, Gran thought about thinking that for the dog, but he failed. We got him as a rehome at 2 years old. He was the runt of a litter. He had been kept with his litter mates, and he had been kept where he had pretty much had the roam of the farm. Yeah, he's a Jack Russell crossed with a Border Collie. So I have a long-haired Jack Russell, Queen Anne legs, shaped legs, who used to be able to jump like a Jack Russell, 9 feet in the air, 6, 7 feet in the air. He had no problems. I once put a cake up to on top of the microwave, on top of the bench, on top of the microwave, on a cooling rack to cool, and someone had a little nibble at it, quite a big nibble at it, because I basically had put it up there, gone out the front door, gone across to the school to pick up the kids. I had the day off because it was somebody's birthday, and the cake was, going to be somebody's birthday cake for that dinner that night. And no, when we got back from the school pickup, and literally 15 minutes, the dog had got into it. So I think we ended up going down to the local supermarket and buying a cake there to replace it. And the dog was in the Hall of Shame, particularly with me. But it was his owner's birthday cake that he actually snaffled. So, yeah. Hot off the needles, finish up this. I don't know. I've been working on an ongoing project for a long time. 3 weeks. It's part of my goals this year to do crochet an Afghan. So I have been, since the 16th of January, I have been crocheting like mad. I'll just get a block. These granny squares, and I've just knocked it again. Oh, I can't do anything bloody right. Yeah, so I have been crocheting like mad. Currently I have 110 of these little babies, but I have finished the other 100 flowers, and I'm now doing the next 100 to square off. So you can say I'm 50% finished in 3 weeks. That's not bad considering that we've had a couple of storms, Storm Imogen, and any sort of weather like that. And I'm filming on my phone because it's not a computer that he has been playing with. Yeah. I've got more computer bits. I have got boat anchors, door stops. So we really just won't go on about that one. So that in a way could be a work in progress, finished object. Some are finished to a point, but my finished object really this week, sorry about the crinkles, but I've tried to put things in easy reach of me, is a pair of where do those scissors go there? A pair of slippers. Now I sort of don't remember casting on. I sort of remember knitting in the dark, but last Sunday to Monday I somehow managed to make myself a new pair of bed sock slippers. I thought I saw slippers like this on a podcast a while ago, and my old ones were all garter stitch, and basically I'd worn them to buggery. They were holy wonders, and it was time to put them out to pasture, retire them. Yeah, put them in the compost, let the birds have the yarn. Yeah, they were absolutely past being wearable, and actually they had the best drafts in the country. So I knit these on a combination of needles. I think I knitted on 3.75 for the garter stitch, and then I swapped to my normal sock needles size, which is a 2.75. From the looks of it, I've just swapped over, cast on another a set of stitches for the top of the thing, about 14, I reckon, from the looks of it, and gone the other way, and done a fat toe because I didn't want it too tight. I don't want a sock toe, like your socks you put in your shoes toe. I wanted, because I twitch, I have a lot of referred pain in my legs and in my toes. So if I have pain in my back, it goes down the sciatic nerves and springs up in my toes. So my toes do this a lot at night, and my feet shuffle, and I have restless legs, and my husband can tell how bad my pain is by the situation with my toes and my feet, and even the whole family can tell it and say, it's like, Mum, take your tablets. Take your tablets. I think what it is the repetitive sound of like the foot moving on the sheets, or the foot moving across the carpet, or like I'm in my duvet here, my doona. I have my doona, and and I'm in my lounging wear, So I think he's there. So what's ongoing? But I'm desperate to knit. I want to knit something. I've got that. I want to knit. I need something. But what to knit is the question. I've really been thinking about what to knit. This year I wanted to do 16 shawls and in the year. You know, I've done the 15 and 15, 14 and 14, 20. Yeah, I've done the shawl challenge since about 2010. Because shawls for me, lace shawls for me, it used to be, because I'm dyslexic, it used to be, I used to have a bit of a hang up about reading patterns, you know, graphs, because I am dyslexic and dyspraxic, and it was like, I'd have enough trouble with words and letters moving, because, but I finally got over it, found strategies to employed what I was teaching. Instead of talk the talk, I actually walk the walk for a change, because I used to be involved in dyslexia support. I don't, put it into practice and did it for my own thing. I think I started doing that in about 2008. But the lace, don't you disappear on me, scream. But the lace was one I had a real hang up over. So did that. Last year was the year of the cables. I did a cable jumper a couple of years ago. It was only a cable on the hood, but I was doing the Mad Christmas knit. He said to me a month before Christmas, "Mum, can I have this jumper? I really like it." So, it was a mad dash to try and find the wool. Found out the wool, that the pattern, it was a magazine pattern. Found out the wool that was no longer available, yet it was in their men's special. So I had to substitute the yarn, and after the third time of knitting this hood on Christmas Eve, he got given his jumper in pieces on Christmas Day. I ended up, later on Christmas Day, while we was waiting for the Christmas dinner to cook, seamed it up for him. Yeah, so, but after that experience, I sort of I'd got myself in the right twist about cables. And again, a lot of the time with cables, it's the reading of the charts and deciphering the symbols, because I have that problem as a dyslexic, get things confused. I lose my place very easily. It's like the text moves. So last year was the year of cables, and I ended up finishing the year with doing a very long stole with a double Saxon cable up one side of it, and it's finished, but I need to find some buttons. But I haven't been out to a shop to get buttons, or anywhere near a place where you'd find buttons, since I finished it. Yeah, I'm very housebound, and I do try to get out, but it doesn't always happen. Like, I think the first time I got out after the pictures that was my husband drove me out that one. But the first time I left the house officially in January was the 17th. Sorry, not the 17th, because I went to knit on the 16th. Probably the first time I went out was the 15th. Yeah. I think that was the first time I actually left the house. And that was to go to the doctor. So yeah. Beer and Skittles in my house sometimes, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I am a work in progress. So what am I going to cast on next? I've been looking at shawls. I've got a queue that's longer than physically possible to knit, but it's all about this capsule wardrobe, and I'm hoping to find a shawl that will fit in my capsule. I'm not really a lacy lace. I was a tomboy, still am. people lost money betting that I was going to get married in a trouser suit 25 years ago. 24. How long have we been married? We got engaged 25 years ago. Yeah, they lost money when they turned up to the church in a dress. Some people fell off the chairs because it was like, oh my God, she's in a skirt. She's in a dress. Shock horror. They really thought I was going to be in a trouser suit or some sort of thing, But at that time, when I was a bride, if you went into all the bridal shops, it was lace, more lace and more. And that's just not me. I can't even do lacy bras. A little bit of lace, and it has not to be scratchy. Yeah. What's the plainest fabric you've got? I don't want an all-over lace bra. I couldn't think of anything worse. It just the sound of it, the thought of it makes my skin crawl. Yeah, so I was so overly lacy. I've done a lot of overly lacy knitting, but I've always given it away. I have always been a selfless knitter. Almost 90 to 100% of what I've knitted, made, has gone to other people. So part of 2016 is me. I'm knitting things for me. Like I knitted this for me 2 years ago. Yeah, and I was a bit upset that he has felted it. I'll probably repurpose it into something else, but this, as I said, I like bright colours. Give me a rainbow. And I'm in like Flynn. So, since it is Valentine's Day, I'm going to go on to what's in my tucker bag. Well, let's do the mail call. He actually remembered. I got flowers and I got a really nice card that is very, very cute and very appropriate because his nickname for me is Puttycat. Little pussycats. And the sentiment was pretty heart touching, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's one of those ones that can make you cry, and if I keep looking at it, I probably will cry. So let's put that away. Acquisitions. As I said, I've been going to the Countess of Blaze knit group, and if I can get, I got out of her studio yesterday without an acquisition, but that didn't mean 2 weeks before that I got out of her studio without an acquisition. I had a bet with her husband yesterday, and lovely Lindsay, who's the Countess of Blaze, the lovely Lindsay helped me by saying the till was broken. Oh God, it was hard there because it's just all these beautiful bold colours. Now, because I'm working on my spinning, this is one of her braids. Don't you just love the colour? It's superwash merino, and this is what she's called toxicity. And to my friend Birdie on Ravelry, who's a green freak, I've already warned my daughter off this. No, it's not for her. It's mine. No grabby hands, darling. It's mine. That's for Birdie and for my daughter. My daughter's a green freak, so anything green, she wants it. Anytime I have green yarn, is that for me, Mum? Well, it used to be, but not anymore. I'm being selfish. I got a bonus, absolute. This is from Rabine in the US. She knows I'm a Hooverian. I'm a bit of, and I have been using this as my main project bag when I go to knit group, and that because it just makes me happy. She also sent a nice, lovely bunch of stitch markers that that she pinned. I have left them there so I don't lose them. And also the rattle helps me find the bag. Yeah. I can lose pens and everything. You'd rattle me and you can find pens, remote controls. I found a pair of scissors just before. Yeah. Knitting needles, crochet hooks. I can lose my crochet hook, put it down for a second and it's like, where did that go? On Friday I managed to get out of the house. I managed to get a haircut for the first time in 6 months. It's short again, yay! I'm not looking like I need to be sure. But I did a bit of acquisition, but I'm not really a shopper all the time. But I managed to get the new knitter, and there's a shawl in there that will probably go on my queue. Get knitted at some stage, but I still have to do some gift knitting, so I'm not 100% selfish. That one's on my gift list. It's by the name has hit the floor, run away, and I can't find it now, and I'm wasting time. The other thing I picked up was, I get the knitter. I don't get the other knit magazines very often because I once had a subscription to some of the other ones, and I found like Let's Knit and that, and I just found that after 12 months it was the same stuff on the front cover and the same stories, and it wasn't my sort of knitting. But the knitter is good because they have a range of things, they have a range of projects, they have lovely photos, and there is a quality to their product. It's 93. I got a 94. Oh well. Yeah, I thought 93 was this one. Oh well. Anyway, I got Inside Crochet because I haven't looked at a crochet magazine for a while, and since picking up the crochet hook again after a lull of a couple of years, I have found it to be useful. I just thought I would get it. Now, I used to be the great aunt who did all the layouts, the baby blankets and things like that. On this, I saw this pattern and I had to have the magazine because this is just adorable. Now, about 8 years ago, I laid down my needles and said, that's it, I'm not doing it. I've handed up, I hanged up my hook as the one who did all the baby, jackets. At one stage I used to be able to knit the baby surprise jacket almost from memory. Yeah. And it was an ultimate, it was like, I could actually take it to knit group and just natter away and keep knitting. And people used to say to me, how can you do that? And it was like, practice. Lots of practice. As I said, I come from a big family, so it was a real case of that. My kids are the youngest of their generation. My husband and I are the youngest of our we in our families we're the youngest sort of things. I'm sort of the youngest. I've got some cousins younger than me, but we're all about the same. Yeah, but not many. And then there's another jump, and I've got some cousins who are in there as well. But there is distinct generations. But in our generation, my husband and I are the youngest. In our kids' generation and their cousins, they are the youngest of all their cousins, and put it this way, they had adult cousins when they were born. So I have knitted for their adult cousins' children. Yeah, as I said, I'm a great aunt. Just call me great aunt and leave it at that. So about 8 years, I took over the hook because my grandmother, who used to be on that side of the family, who used to be the one who would always do a layette, her arthritis got to the stage where she couldn't hold the needles anymore, and I took up the baton because I had been her protege, and I just sort of fell into it, and I got sucked into the whole, we've got to do something for the family, da 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 da, and I've just had to learn to be a selfish knitter. My daughter is knitworthy, but after what she said to me on Thursday, her knitworthy is, she's blotted her copybook. She said to me, Mum, we love that you do your crafts, but we just don't want you to talk to us all about it all the time, because that's all you talk about. And it was like, that was a bit of a slap in the face, but doing the podcast is hoping to help me deal with this, because somebody out there hopefully is interested in this. And maybe I'll have somebody else to talk to. I definitely feel very isolated. I had work friends, but when I stopped working and when I had developed a chronic illness, they all disappeared, and I stayed here. So I'm going out of my way to be me. No. So other than other acquisition that I got the other week, again another Countess Blaze, merino and Tulsa silk, 75% merino, 25% silk. This is what she calls her nerd herd. Yeah, can you see a pattern here? I really do like bright colours. I do like so if you I'll put the link in. Sorry about the crinkles. I'll put the link in. But that so that's my associated items. Yes, and I'm going very on me now. This is about the 5th take I've done of this. So today, and I've tried heaps of times in the last month. So I think I might be going, that's it, see you later, no more, sayonara. Hope, if I manage to do another podcast, this is where I would go. I would sort of do the sign off and go into the natter. I already just did that, so sorry, but yeah. I'm gonna have to say put a warning on me because that I think that's about all of it. So I'll say Uru. See you next time, and ciao.